this specifically engineered deck list, I had an idea. Basically, Basic Forest is pretty useless game 1, frankly. So I will just play a Cavern main deck and then all of my forest sideboard. Just one forest main deck for Boseiju. That's the idea. I haven't seen a prelim with more than 20 players in a while. Great hand. Golden League is just double entry, double prizes. Yeah. Even more than double, more QPs, I guess. This is a turn 3 win. Grab the Grass Cage, that would be a reasonable sideboard card against Neoform. But I prefer Vexing Bauble. I think it's both more flexible and better in the matchup. So Gruul Turf isn't ideal. But I guess it makes Spelunking and Explore into a functional draw. So what I will do now is I will put in a Grazer. I'll put in a Vestige. I can make a construct and then I can even make another construct next turn if I deem it useful. If my opponent is gonna hold up Counterspell. I don't know what their Scalding Tarn represents. Also, notably, our opponent is playing at 1-3, while you can't win prizes at 2-3, which is an interesting strategy, I guess. But also, I guess if you want to play matches, then sure. But then does it line up with a person who is interested in playing golden leagues over bronze leagues? Yeah, I don't really know. It paints a picture that's a bit confusing and convoluted. This is either Zoo or creativity, perhaps. Is Zoo playing Jetmist Garden? Yes, Juanito Viento. It's mostly that. It's double entry, double prizes, yeah. More top heavy, a little bit more heavy, top heavy. Alright. We went down to 1 forest, so I guess not getting punished, but could be. Drew Hanweir, so we can simply win. Unfortunately, we don't know if my opponent is playing Zoo, but I feel like it has to be creativity, not Zoo. So what happens with preliminaries now? Not worth it anymore. So the title is a bit sensational. The title of my stream is a little bit sensational, but yeah, it could be. Let's have at least 2 forests, maybe even 3 against a Boseiju wielding gamer. I don't really know. Like, so let's assume it's creativity. Do I want Dismember? Not really. Do I want Force of Vigor? Not really. Do I want Vexing Bauble? No. Do I want Otawara number 2? For sure. Do I want Defense Grid? Maybe. But I guess if there is a way to earn more QPs from playing leagues, then that does make preliminaries a little bit obsolete. Especially given that they had trouble fighting and they were pretty small events, they stopped posting deck lists from them. This hand I'll keep, and I will draw a Titan in my first draw step. Leyline of the Void, that's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Do I want to play Saga? Don't think so. I think I actually will play Mirrorpool now. Yeah, I can play Mirrorpool. That's fine actually, because if I draw a Titan, I guess I'll have Mirrorpool sacrificed to the Lotus Field. So it's a bit tricky. But I get to make constructs with Saga, which is of some minimal value. So yeah, I think it's creativity. Feather Sheep, thank you very much for your Prime sub. You did not use Ren? How come? Well, obviously they forgot, otherwise you would use Ren. Fetch. Why does Remy say he's a witch when a changeling is not a witch? I think he means it as in he has a creature type of a witch that a witch card would have. They fetched green. Okay. They fetched green in order to... I don't know, man. In order to tap my Urza Saga, but that goes blue. Seems like creativity. It sure does, yeah. Are gold leaks just prelims without waiting for yellow what to finish his match? Sort of, that's the hope. Should I copy explore? I don't think so. I think the Mirrorpool is a little bit too valuable. Because given the Leyline of the Void, if I draw a Titan, I need it to have some power. Nice. Am I getting consigned? Oh, I still have a land drop from the Explore. That actually means I just win. That's nice. I think I would have missed that. I have an extra land drop in paper. That was convenient then. GG. GG indeed. So 28 minutes deep into a stream, we 2-0'd our first match and we can play a second one. This is more rounds, so I can tell. But that's a good question to ask. So if we 5-0, I get this. And I guess in a prelim you get 10 chests, but... So fewer chests, but more QPs. Way fewer chests, actually. Misty Rainforest. Alright, my hand contains two separate beasts, so I will name beast with my Cavern of Souls. And I'll play an Amulet of Vigor. How many PPs to enter? 200. 20 tickets, 200 PPs. QPs are free for them, yeah. In fact, QPs make me spend more PPs. Oh, Living End. That's scary. I guess not that scary with Mr. Beast in hand and 3 amulets game 1, but... Let's just play Mr. Beast now. Or should I start with an Analyst? I think Analyst. Hit 2 lands. Could get Endurance, but that's mostly fine. Alright. Just follow me. Controversy. Without me. They push Endurance to Endurance. If my opponent Living Ends now, then I just have to hope that they will not counter my Colossus. So yeah, let's Colossus now. You can play it with a Cavern, so Flare is not a danger. If they bounce it to my hand, that's fine. If they subtlety it, that's also fine. Because I can just try again next turn. I did cut Bojuka Box, so that is a little bit horrifying against Living End. But also, like, Bojuka Box sometimes is useful, but for the most part, not quite. For the most part, it's about resolving your shit. That's the hard part. Whoa, they pitched subtlety to subtlety twice? That's funny. Well, next turn I try again. I mean, so far my Colossus is just like pay 1 mana to draw a card, so honestly it's not as good, but now you might as well Titan. Yeah. I guess now that they are out of subtleties, I could Titan, but I could Beast and then Titan as well. Forest seems not good against Living End. Neither does Boseiju though. I think Forest seems better, which is not legendary, and there is just no chance I want to Boseiju anything. Defense Grinds and Vexing Bauble are entering. So given the presence of Vexing Bauble, I'll just keep all of my Sagas and hope to not get too bullied. I do wish they will actually take the idea further and make Platinum Leagues, where you just pay 80 tickets to enter a league, and you can win 100 chests for 5-0ing. Do you like that idea? Why not put 100 tickets entry for one game? Winner takes all. Yeah, they should do that as well. Oh, this is alright. Kinda. Hoping to dodge Foundation Breaker. Don't currently have a much better idea against Living End than that. Kanye, would you play yourself in an Amulet Mirror for $1 million? I would not know. Like, against myself, against another canister? Only if I were to win on turn 2. No nie, opponent is fetching 2 mana. My foundations are getting broken. This card is truly unfair, like it's really... This is not okay. It's not okay that you can do that. You can pay 2 mana to kill a land, right? And then it just comes back. That's fucked up. No nie, Surveillant, put a 7/7 into my graveyard. What's next? Boseiju, my bounce land, bro. Jakiś jest skurwesyn jest. I'll just play the defense grid. I don't think I can reasonably beat a Living End. So I'll hope they won't have a Living End and ask them to force of negation this right now if they want to force it. But of course, if they just cascade, then I'll die. Eric's MTG, would you play against yourself in an Amulet Mirror for $2 million? Siedem, 10. Alright, actually I can win next turn. I draw a land. Missing a Disciple of Fraelis now. Of course, need my opponent not to have any interactions. What dupa kurwa, I can't even draw a land. That's pathetic. Oh wow, I actually went to 1. I did not count too well. I thought I'm going to 3. I guess I skipped Charlotte's Agent. It's pretty easy to skip it because it's still on the stack and not on the battlefield, so you count and it does not add up. So yeah, I don't know what to do about Foundation Breaker. I guess we can again just hope that my opponent doesn't draw it sometimes. But it's a really tough card to beat when I have no no way to stop it. Imagine not counting in the Golden League. You're playing with the best buddy, better tighten up. That is fair. This is a nice time to play Living End. Does Living End actually beat Energy? Kinda, so not really. I guess if they play Goblin Bombardment, you just lose. Yeah, I just cut my Bojuka book because I deemed it useless and I'm getting punished for that. So I guess indeed the claims of Living End being a decent choice are founded in something. You once got Living in it 4 times, won anyway. Nice. They pitched Subtlety to Fawn, that's a bit crazy, but sure. I could have maybe made a construct, maybe that was better. Then next turn I can get Vexing Bauble and my opponent can never pitch again. Of course, I'm disregarding the fact that they will just kill my Saga now. Grazer beat down. Very well put. Alright, can I please draw a bounce land? Or a Crumbling Vestige into a bounce land, even better. Nie kurwa, nie możesz kanister, wypierdalaj. Dobra, no okej. It's a bit sad, but such is life. Should I put a Lotus Field into play right now? I don't think so. So that's a bit wasteful. Curator of Mysteries. And a generous end. I miss when Amulet used to have to win with a double striking Azusa. It was pretty rare that you had to resort to that, right? Could copy Hedgemaze or could copy Urza Saga. So I'm basically wondering between those two. Both seem like a viable route to pursue. Let's explore first and decide. I'm leaning towards Saga. Yeah, Saga seems good. Generous End. Getting cycled. Forest. Generous End. And what? Could summon Mr. Beast with just one land. If I had a Bojuka Bog in my deck, I would just chill with Urza's Cave because there is absolutely no danger of anything. We can't Pact, right? Well, I mean, I can, it's just gonna get countered. I think I'll pass. It's only really bad if my opponent EOT Boseiju's Vexing Bauble. Or maybe if they Foundation Breaker, I guess that's also bad, but not so bad. I wonder when players will start main decking Dumping Sphere. Probably never, it does not sound like a strategy that's any good. So I keep wondering, my friend. O ty skurwysynu. Cwaniaku. No to cię wytrębalił. No nie. I would say I'm not really getting Trimble on it just yet, but there are some dangers. Bring back Mental Nimstep, you cowards, for sure. Send a 0 to 10 scale, how fucked are you? I would say 5 right now. Now, if my opponent's hand is Force of Vigor Subtlety, rather, Force of Negation Subtlety Living End, then it's still alright, I think. Sort of. If there is another Force of Vigor, then I'm a bit wrecked. You would love to Mental Misstep an Amulet? No. Mental Nimstep. It's a bit different. You have a solid 0-4 match win rate with Amulet. Are you proud? Do I think Chocobo will be playable main deck? No way. It's a creature that needs to survive. Doesn't seem great. Toughness as well. Do I think since I'm an Amulet expert, I will take up cave diving now? You'll never see me diving up caves, that shit is. Don't we just cave into Lotus, play Lotus Pact for Analyst and start looping into Mr. Beast? Bro, never heard of Subtlety. Also, we are in my upkeep, so I can't do any of that until my opponent passes priority, and they might just be pondering their Force of Vigor number 2 really hard. What's the payoff for Scapeshift in this deck? If you have 4 lands in play and an Amulet, you win. That's the payoff. That feeling when no bog. Mark says, I guess what you're saying is true, but also if I play living ends, but they don't have a subtlety number 2, then it's fine. This is a bit of a problem. At least they can't just violent outburst EOT now. Just endurance to block, that's absolutely fine. Honestly, pretty happy to draw out an endurance like that. They couldn't outburst because no red. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Best with Beast with Cavern. Are we subbing? Sure. Still, the only real thing I need to dodge is Breaker into Living End. Or Force of Vigor, I guess. Am I a beast? Sort of. I probably should have kept a Semi-Growth Chamber in play, honestly. Would play better around Force of Vigor now. Yeah, I should have bounced a Boseiju. I think I should have bounced a Boseiju. Mistake. Boseiju, my Boseiju. Okay. That made 0 sense. No, they saddle-teed me. I had Cultivator Colossus on top. It made plenty sense. Human target. Well, if they don't play Flare, which we haven't seen so far, then Cavern of Souls is actually probably worse. So it kind of makes sense. Like, I don't hate their target, that's fine, in my view. So I get Sync into Stupor, so I have to pay for the Pact next turn. Which is annoying, but I'm not dying unless they draw Living End. Funny, because if they draw a Cascade spell, I guess if they draw a Shardless Agent, they just have lethal, even without Living Ending. But if they do actually Living End, they don't, because I get to put a land into play. Specific reason I chose Mr. Beast over Titan feels better in this spot. So I think by Living Ending they actually are losing. Well, losing, we'll see. My Mr. Beast will not have many lands in play. But I think we have to put Growth Chamber into play and return Lotus Field. Does that make sense? No, I would prefer to put a forest, pay for the pack, and have 3+4. So a forest seems better. So, funnily, if my opponent would just chose not to cascade, then I would need to top deck a Ram spell. But they chose to cascade, which was a mistake. Drew another land, that's awesome. But since I'm at 8 life, they could have just added a 2-power monster. Which I guess also lets me top deck Boseiju, so it's not as simple perhaps, but... Should I bounce back Lotus Field? think so. Now we have to hit something. Explore. Saga. Summoner's Pact. Okay, we won. Oh, no Bojuka block necessary. At least I think I won. I guess maybe I haven't won yet. Because of the Summoner's Pact being in the graveyard. True Forest. Forest is alright. I can't be getting an Analyst now because I only get useless lands. Okay, so it has to be Titan. So I get Mirrorpool and a Semi-Growth Chamber. Copy Titan, I think. Then I have a Cultivator Colossus with 3 lands. We don't have an infinite combo just yet because I don't have the access to my other pact, so we have to improvise. So we are currently improvising, in fact. So I could copy Mr. Beast now, or I could copy Titan, get Bounce Land, Otawara. So then I Mr. Beast with 4 lands instead of Mr. Beasting with 3 lands. So that might be worse because it's always free. Oh yeah, and I've used the Otawara anyways. Also, I want to keep the Otawara in my deck if I draw a Scapeshift and I want to bounce the Cultivator Colossus. So it's better to copy Colossus now. True Scapeshift should be good. Aren't you afraid of timing out? Are you afraid? I'm not a fearful individual now. Like 6 minutes is plenty. I guess I have to do a lot of stuff as well, but I have to fight through a lot of toughness, but Valakut is not in my deck, chat. I guess there is a slight problem. You have to draw literally Analyst. Holy shit, I think I tapped out of my mana. And I have no lands, so that kind of failed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Raz, dwa, trzy, cztery, pięć, sześć, 7. So 3 creatures go through, which is unfortunately exactly enough. Raz, dwa, trzy, cztery, pięć, sześć, 7. Raz, dwa, trzy, cztery, pięć, sześć, 7, 8. No, 2 creatures go through. That's fine. Zjem fooda. No, zjadł fooda opponent. This is all part of the plan, certainly. They drew a fetch, so I think I win by just attacking them next turn. Well, I have a lot of toughness, so So it's a bit rough in that sense. Okay, Mr. Beast again, but if you notice, I have no lands in my hand. Dobra, jest analityk dobrany. Wszystko zgodnie z planem. $19.21 Mr. Beast times 4, so that's 80 damage, and opponent was at 20 plus 4 razy 7, 28, 48 plus 6, so they were at 54 plus 3, 57. And we are attacking for 80, so that was clearly enough. I didn't even need to make the extra beast. Let's keep. Seems like the prelim has gathered 7 players so far, so maybe we should join anyways. But that would mean double queuing, so a bit rough. No, let's stick to Golden Leagues today. I have to showcase the Golden League experience to the viewers. Use leagues better to farming QP right just by choosing schedule. Well, you win way less QPs. So they're a bit worse there. For the exile, Karn, Eye of Eugen, Urza's Tower, so it's the Tron variant. No nie, Totnocir. Ty śmieciu. Oh, he took Scapeshift, that's a bit wild. Probably one basic in their deck. Oh, bro. You should absolutely take the Spelunking if you don't have basics in your deck. One, two, three, four. Well, I would go to 1. I would take 4, 8, 12 damage from this Sphere before winning. Maybe your opponent should have queued a regular league instead of a gold one, yeah. Honestly, that is very true. Another Otawara. Sex. Force of Vigor. I don't know. None of those cards do anything against my opponent because they don't really offer all that much. Ojej, ale amuletów tutaj dało. Hopefully my opponent doesn't go Eugen's Labyrinth into Chalice of the Void because that would be extremely painful. But it seems to be a turn to win. I go turn 1 Amulet, and turn 2 I go Amulet, Grove Chamber, go at 4 mana, play Amulet Grazer down to 2 mana, play a Vestige from Grazer, get to 4 mana, and then find Simic, Grove Chamber and TOS, which I already drew, so I guess we win even harder. How can you get with triple Amulet Scapeshift for 2 lands? Question mark. Are you asking me what can I do? If I can win, I can just get Tolaria West and Simic, Grove Chamber. Ooh. That's a spicy card. Do I want to bounce back the Grove Chamber maybe? I think so. Podnotes here would be annoying. Are the gold leagues worth 20 tickets? Well, are they? The prices are pretty high. Oh, opponent was paying costs, so in paper it would be, you know, a confident play 0 mana Tormod script with an untapped Trinisphere in play type move, so impressive opponent, impressive. Respectable. Can triple Q gold, normal and friendly at the same time to showcase a difference? Technically I could, yeah. Cztery mana. Scapeshift. 7 mana. Three amulets. Grazer. Grove Chamber. Seven mana. Play 7 mana 0/0, it dies. West, Chamber, Forest, Otawara, Mycosynth Gardens, and that's it. Yeah, Scapeshift literally crop rotation, so maybe crop rotation would actually be insane in the Amulet deck, huh? Wasn't crop rotation supposed to be like wherein it's supposed to be printed in MH at some point? Frinisphere very good. Quite good, yeah. Messy, 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 man. Wasn't this actually deterministic after resolving Colossus? Yeah, it still is. I like made a claim that it is not deterministic at any point. I don't think so. Why I decided to play Spelunkings? Well, it's just as deterministic with Spelunkings. It saves time on Magic Online to have Spelunking in play. That's why. But I guess if you want to, I can bounce Spelunking. If that makes you feel better. I guess maybe you thought that Spelunking makes the kill non-deterministic, but that used to be the case in the past. But it is not the case since the analyst loops are introduced. It actually doesn't interfere you from winning ever. Well, maybe there in some fringe spots, but I guess that's maybe what you were thinking, because it used to be that sometimes you couldn't kill your opponent with Spelunking out because of the Spelunking awkwardness. I think I generated less than that, you die. I played, like, the amount of games I played with Amulet is probably in low thousands. I guess if there is a ley line of the void in play, then you might get punished by Spelunking relevantly. And it seems incredible if I draw a bounce land. And even if I don't, if I just draw a Crumbling Vestige, that's also alright. If I just draw Hanweir Battlements and Shifting Woodland, that's also alright. This is actually a turn to win, right? If I draw a bounce land. Well, let's make sure. Gardens Amulet. Next turn. Play bounce land, bounce chamber, then copy Amulet, play Grazer, get to 4 mana. No, it is not a turn to kill. Is it perhaps reasonable to play around Static Prison? No, because it can be a turn to kill if I draw an Explore, a Grazer, a Pact, a Titan. I think another Spelunking as well. And if I get Static Prison, I have Boseiju, so I can, and I have the Spelunking, so I can just go turn to Grazer, bounce lands, that's fine. Kurwa, no zrujnował. But it's alright, it's alright. They have to keep paying energy for the prison as well. Bombardment, that's scary. Don't think there is a real way I die next turn, but maybe Ajani will kill me. Now I guess there is no chance they will kill me. If I go bounce land, Scapeshift, I can get 2 Lotus Fields and then Analyst. That seems not so good, so I think I will cycle Explore first. And see where it leads me. Just more bounce lands. So I'll do this. And now with Grazer. I'll be short on green, so I can't. Just keep up Boseiju and kill Bombardment if my opponent plays an Ajani. And next turn Scapeshift with 4 lands. Maybe 5 lands. Flash. What if Flash had Flash? End of turn, escape Flash. That would be crazy, right? So I go to 12 and I have 3 more damage with Bombardment. And they will make 2 cuts. So I seem not very dead. Yeah, opponent is dead, I am not, so perfect symbiosis on our ends. Well, they succeeded in making me a little bit concerned. That's for sure. But I guess they were only representing half of a Trab and Charm, so not too worried. Defense Grid Monka was not particularly useful just yet. Why do I play 3 different sweepers? It's because all of them have upsides. And seems alright. If I draw 2 sweepers, I get to choose which one I get to cast which. Seems advantageous when all of them have minor upsides over one another. That make it hard to decide which one is actually the best. Goblin Bombardment on turn 2 already, that's crazy. Kinda want to play around Molten Rain. Opponent's opening is a bit weak and it kinda feels like they could have a Molten Rain. I do need to draw a regular land in top 2 with Spelunking, which is a bit rough, but hoping I will. A more natural way of play would be to put a Bonsan into play. They could also have Among Us. What's Among Us? Like, well, yeah, they have Moon, then it's rougher, but Bombardment not weak on 2 with Ajani on 3. Yeah, but you would rather play Ajani on 2. If you have those 2 cards in your hand and you play Ajani first. So it is a signal that they don't have much. So they probably kept their hands heavy on interaction. A weak signal, but a signal. Fish on the planes, but I'm still playing around Molten Rain. Maybe that's weak. It's Friday. Tapped Scared Foundry, white. Throbbing Charm makes sense. Punishing my land sequencing. Mm. I did play around wrong interaction perhaps this game, and they fetch, escape plage, I go to 9. Attack with 2 cats. Holy shit, White Orchid Phantom? Well, that maybe actually lets me survive, so thank you. If they escape plage, free to face. I go to 9 attack, I go to 6, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I was dead if they do that, and now I can draw not much, I guess. I would say well played opponent, but it actually wasn't, I think. So no need to be worried about Moon too much. Yeah, instance, yeah, the Vengeance plus Boseiju, that was the solution I had. Do I think cursing in Polish is essential skill to learn on the way to Master Titan? No, it actually plays no role. Keep and die to Defy Knight. We'll see. Maybe I'll draw a land. Gruul Grazer, which works. Ocelot Pride. Ocelot Pride. Oh no. And they attack. Oh no. Let's draw a bounce land. Almost. Should I play the Analyst? I guess. Not much punishment for doing that. And they want 3 blocks well. Aftermath Analyst. Molten Rain, no issue. White Orchid Phantom, no issue. Removal on Spelunking, that's an issue, but then I just packed for a Titan. Flagon Analyst, no issue. Plains. Moon, definitely an issue. What is skurwysynu, no? Yeah, pierdziele. What kind of a deck building combo is that to play both Knight of the White Orchid and Blood Moon? Let's draw a Fire Spout. O Jezu, ale ich nasrywa. Okay, Forest. Let's try Boseiju, which unfortunately I put into play. It seemed like my opponent is not mooning, and then they mooned. So I feel cheated and tricked. Fable, no, wykurwista karta. Oh, Golden Bombardment will kill me. That's known. They won't have it though. Alright, Boseiju. One time chat. Actually, I should have an upkeep stop to fetch a Titan from my deck to Boseiju. Feels really bad to have played the Boseiju and then join a forest. I kept the Vestige because it was a bit better against White Orchid Phantom. But perhaps I was in a good enough spot that I could have just not played the Analyst and even just play around Moon by holding the mana up. Because against, like I had Scapeshift against White Orchid Phantom, I didn't need to care about that. So it would be a bit slightly weaker if they kill my Spelunking, but I still play 6 mana Titan. So I guess we actually could have done a little bit. This hand ramps. It sure does ramp. Urza Saga. Very curious. I drew a second Amulet so we can turn to win. Could be a mirror. It is pretty common for Amulet to go Saga pass. But at this point I think it is not a mirror, actually. Bot says that villain has been spotted 13 days ago playing Vur, so it's probably the Jeska Ascendancy combo deck. Do I care if they make a construct with Saga? Not really. Might be a no map situation. Urza? They search for another Moxopal. Ursa Major. Well, I need to draw a payoff. I'll have 4 Amulets in play. Let's go. And I need not to die to Urza Lord High Artificer. Which is probably alright. No expedition map. Bros, at this, like, if it's gonna happen again, I guess I'm just adding the map back to my deck. Keeps being relevant somehow. Take me home. Oh no. At least my constructs are huge. But I assume they have a combo with Rona in their deck, so that could be dangerous. Might be better to name Giant, doesn't matter. 2 streams I watch on Hero that we miss map. So if I had map in this spot, I would float, 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 3 mana, 5 mana. Get map Amulet, +6, 9. So I would have exactly 11 to actually crack it instantly. 2 to crack, 3 to T-West, 0 to Pact, 6 to Titan. Mox Opal. Even with free Amulet, yeah. Outplay Growth Chamber, which untaps 3 times at 6 mana, and I have 5 plus 6, 11. If you don't put map in your deck, I will never sub again. The worst part is that I have to cut a card, which I could cut a bounce land. It's pretty ugly, but honestly might be what I want. O kurwa. No dobra. I mean, I guess they go Mox. They replay the Rona. If I Boseiju, that's also true. Do I just Boseiju the Mox now? I'm not sure. Because my opponent gets an island. Taps. Well, if they run any, actually. They still get to play Rona. So I don't think it accomplishes much. Is it bad that Upheaval is the most inoffensive card in Modern Masters? Modern Horizons, you mean? Upheaval is pretty cool. And in fact, fairly inoffensive, I would say. Holy shit, if they had infinite Springleaf Drums and they could just play infinite legendary 1-drops this way. Well, still looking for a Titan. Tamiyayo. Scary. Alright, bro. GG. No re. Well fought. Good attempt at upheavaling, but one has 6 turns of no resistance and still lost. Yeah, it's a bit rough to take 6 turns to do nothing. They play blue, but it doesn't feel like I need Cavern against their deck. Don't really need Forest either. Can maybe reduce Sagas. Against Inevitable Haywire might spam, they probably play Emery as well. Some merit to Vexing Bauble, not much. Maybe 6. That doesn't seem like my opponent will put up enough resistance to sex me. Vexing Bauble I don't like on that draw. Let's just have 3 Sagas. Once again, I have 2 Amulets in my opening hand. I've been getting that a lot lately. So many Amulets. Turn 1 Emery. Mill over a Dumpling Sphere. How many do I run? Amulets? 4. Seems good to kill the Emery. Their draw would be stronger with it. Ether spell bomb. Solid, solid. If you could play more than 4 amulet, what would be a good number? 7? Probably 10. Holy shit, that's a turn to win. "14 at least. Through the stupid spell bomb. I mean, maybe not lethal, but I'll have a Titan in play by turn 2, that's what I meant. But certainly I can just Mirrorpool. 14 amulets, Da Vinci says. I guess that's probably true, yeah. Yeah, Scapeshift wins. I guess if I play this, I can get consigned. No consign. Chat, do you think there is any chance that I am supposed to cut Titans from my Titan deck? That trying to rely on it is actually a crutch. Sometimes, against energy, I have no amulet, I can Titan, or I have just one amulet, I can Titan, and it's just not enough at all to matter. But then the nice thing about Titan is that it works when you have the double amulet draw, and Scapeshift wouldn't work just yet, because you actually need physical lands in play for Scapeshift. What card would be better in that spot? Well, Scapeshift, but I guess you already ran it. Well, or if you played 4 Lotus Fields and you just had 4 Analysts in your deck. But that's less flexible, and then suddenly if your opponent plays out a Tormod script, that's rough. Titan just kind of beats all of that. Bring to light time to get Scapeshift more often. Well, but still the problem of not having enough.